Okay, so first question on your assignment is number 18. If you look at the exponent of 4, that's a perfect square. So if I gave you something like x squared plus 4, how does that factor? Oh, I want a minus sign there, sorry. Because the plus will not work. That factors into x plus 2 and x minus 2. It factors into the conjugates. So if you have the difference, which is what we have right there, of perfect squares, those are perfect squares because I can take the square root of them. It factors into the conjugates. So if I want to factor the numerator, it would factor into the conjugates. What is the square root of x to the 4a? The square root of x to the 4a. X to the 2a. So I'd have x to the 2a plus y to the 2a. And then I would have x to the 2a minus y to the 2a. But nothing cancels yet, right? However, if I were to look at that and look right here, that's the difference of perfect squares again. So I can factor that again. So if I factor, I'm still just going to have that x to the 2a plus y to the 2a. But how does this part in yellow factor? X to the a minus y to the a times x to the a plus y to the a, because it factors into conjugates because it's the difference of perfect squares again. And the denominator is x to the a plus y to the a. So now what happens? Now you have that factor that will cancel, and your answer is going to be the quantity x to the 2a plus y to the 2a times the quantity x to the a minus y to the a.
I have 3s RMA over 2 RMA. Okay, I have S or 3 SMR minus 3 S cube over 2 MR minus 2 Q minus 6. Where do you even choose?
Yes, that is correct.
What happened to my Q? Where did it go? Somehow it's a miscalculation. How is it? But it says.
16. Mm.
Oh, I got that one. Is it? Can I ask you what the answer is?
Let me look.
Oh, I got 800. 16. As I checked my answer, that was still off. Oh shoot! Do you have to find the? What do you have to find? Perimeter. Oh, wait,
Parameter.
I just found it.
Okay, what's the answer?
I got 800. I felt really confident on that.
Anybody get an answer besides 800?
Yeah, I'm just like. See, I took the brackets out to be it. I know.
I don't think I have a triangle like that. Yeah, I do.
Okay, I got 31, no, 36. Or you 32.
Yes, 32 is correct.
How did you get 800? Like, that's how makes sense. One besides is 7. No, like 1 and 20. Oh, yeah. And then the other two. I'm not sure what it is. 9 and 3 fifths.
You just came
And then
into
the
each
other
other,
one.
so
15,
that's what I thought.
15, and then
Okay, that's why I wrote 16 and 4.
Okay, what are the two triangles, something like that? So in the small triangle, we have A, B, C, where AB is 4 and 2/5. BC is 9 and 3/5. And AC is 6. And then in your other triangle, oh well. I don't have it quite right. Can I just, I'm just going to change the letters here so it kind of corresponds. Not in the same position. Is that okay? Not rotated this way. Where we have 7 and 1/25. Now it tells you that triangle ABC is similar. ABC is similar to triangle DEF. So A corresponds to D, so angle A has the same measure as D. B corresponds to E. E corresponds to E. Probably should put the 2 tick marks. And then C corresponds to F. I'm just going to put that right there instead of the 3 tick marks. So what do we need to do? They want to find the perimeter of DEF. So I need to find the perimeter. And right now, to find the perimeter, I'm going to have to add the sides together, right? So one side is 7 and 1/25. I need to figure out how am I going to find another side. Ratio? Do a proportion? Okay, so if I do that, I know these corresponding parts right there, right? Those are the same. So I'm going to have, can I write those as improper fractions? Is that okay? So I have 22/5. 22/5 over 7/4 would be 170. So it's going to be 176 over 25. You agree with that? 7 times 25? Or you want me to leave them as, did you use your calculators? 4 and 2/5 over 7 and 1/25 equals what?
6 over
What if I did that? So it would be 6 over what?
X.
X. So cross multiply and divide? You did that on your calculators? Okay, what'd you get when you did that?
48.
48/5? So I need to add that length. Did we get?
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that's 9 and 4/5. Do you agree with that or not?
Oh,
Yeah. I have not typed it in. The other ratio is going to be our other proportion. The other proportion is going to be 4 and 2/5 over 7 and 1/25 is equal to 9 3/5 over y. So the first one I agree is 48/5. So the next one, you're going to take 7 1/25 times 9 3/5 and divide by 4 2/5. And you get 384 over 25. So now you're going to take 384 over 25. You are going to add 48/5. And you're going to add 7 1/25. And you end up with 32. 32 units, but I don't actually know what the units are. They have some value. Hmm. They ask you to solve for Z. Okay, what do you want to do? All right, there's multiple things you can do. You could distribute, but you're making the Z term more complicated. Or I could just get rid of this leak value there, because what you're doing is you're taking 3K over M times the quantity. So if I divide by the 3K over M, that says I need to take 5S over 1, divide by 3K over M. But if you divide, you invert and multiply. So you're taking it times M over 3K. And what are you left with? You are left with 5SM over 3K, which is equal to 6T over Z minus 4K over M. Now there's still multiple things you can do, but there's the value you're solving for, which is Z. So now what? Add 4k over m is the correct step. You could get a common denominator, but then you're introducing a z in the numerator and denominator over here. And now you have more spots where you have that variable that you were looking for. So I think it's easier if you just go ahead and isolate the 6t over z term. So I'm going to add 4k over m to both sides. So that leaves you with 5sm over 3k plus 4k over m, and that's equal to 6t over z. Agree so far? So from there, what do we want to do? Multiply by what? Z?
If you multiply by z, then you move it over, then you divide by that whole thing, then you multiply.
Okay, I would agree with that.
Can you find a common?
You could. When you do that, Cassidy, or not Cassidy, Caitlin, you're going to get this. You're going to get 6t, and you divide by, so you're going to get divide by 5sm plus 4k all over 5km. No, that's not all over. That's where I'm going to mess up because that's not the step I would do. You get, let me move it. If you do what you're talking about, Caitlin,
Yeah, and then when you move it over, is that what you do?
you're going to get this. You're going to get 6t divided by 5sm over 3k plus 4k over m. You need to simplify that yet. Okay. Or we can go with what Hallie said, and that is to get a common denominator and make this one fraction. Then you have a fraction equal to a fraction, and it's a proportion. So then it's just cross multiply and divide. So if I get that common denominator, what is the common denominator? 3km. So I have to take the first fraction times m and the second one times 3k. So that gives you 5sm squared plus 12k squared over the common denominator of 3mk. And that's equal to 6t over z. Now you could say z is by itself, so you could just cross multiply and divide. Or we can go ahead and say, well, you set cross products equal. So you get z times the quantity 5sm squared plus 12k squared. And that's equal to this cross product, which is 18 mkt. But as a final step, we need to solve for z. So I want to divide by 5sm squared plus 12k squared. So z is equal to 18 mkt divided by 5sm squared plus 12kt, or k squared, sorry.